everyone, to the Watch This Shit podcast. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. My name is Seneca, the movie professor, and today I have my collaborator and co-operator here, Young Sam. Go ahead and introduce yourself, bruh.
Hey, it's Young Sam, aka the Movie Apprentice.
And we also have a special guest returning to the podcast is the podcast antagonist, Mr. J. Kim. Go ahead and say
Antag-
hello to the people. Antagonist.
Antagonist never. I'm just the one that speaks the truth. The truth is what you need. Facts are there, and you are willing to understand
Nope,
that I
nope.
will give
All I
this
said
all
was
to you.
say hi. All I said was say hello to the people.
That was my line. Okay, you guys say what you want to say. I say what I want to say. Carry on.
Sam, if I get a signal, cut this nigga. Cut his audio.
Thank
In
you
this
for having me back,
podcast,
though.
we're gonna give you the definitive decision on whether you should go view a new movie release or not. It's real easy. If we say watch this shit, stop what you're doing and enjoy some good cinema. If we say don't watch this shit, avoid it as you would getting involved with superpowered people. Or don't. You can do what you want. It may be fun. It may get your whole body exploded on accident. You don't want to listen to us? You put your life in your own hands. Amazon Prime is not fucking around. They are single handedly trying to keep the superhero genre alive, even though everyone else seems to be trying to kill it. Their tactic is working, even though they are producing anti superhero shows. The Boys and Invincible are both incredible series that everyone should watch. Watch that shit immediately. We'll get to those and we will do reviews. Just trust me in advance and watch them. Today, we are looking at a spinoff of The Boys, Gen V. What Xavier's Institute for the Gifted would look like in the corrupt world we currently live in. Garth Ennis, the creator of The Boys, and subsequently the story that is adapted for this, hates superheroes. The stories he writes always paint people with superpowers as evil, vile, selfish, weapons of mass destruction in human form. His contempt for superheroes and the comics industry as a whole is always on full display within his tales. While I enjoy his angry, mean spirited take in comic form, the television shows that have been adapted from his works are toned down and more easily digestible for a larger audience. I would dare say that the stories here are better than the source material. That is rare for sure, but there is more ambiguity in the writing here as opposed to Ennis just saying all people are bad. Sam, you want to speak a little about the wins Amazon has picked up with adapting these two series?
Yeah, it's a definitely uh it kind of turns the superhero genre on its head because everybody's not trying to be a superhero. This like you have some that are trying not to be. You have some psychopaths, and then I just I like it. I hope that we get more seasons of each, but I just hope that they don't do what things in the past have done and just put bullshit out to put bullshit out. Like, give us some good quality shit.
It's real easy. Like if you mass produce it, you definitely can dilute the product, which was a danger of what they could have done here, but luckily it kind of worked out. J. Kim, give your expert opinion on what made The Boys such a great series.
Boys, I'll tell you like this. I'm gonna be honest with you. I came into the boys watching that show late. Okay, the boys. I love the spin where it's just like, hey, not all superheroes are good. And I'm so glad that they put it out on Front Street. And I'm just like, yes, okay. Like we really needed this because is Superman really that, nice? Does he really get up when he really wants to get up to save people? I don't think so. So I love to see the boys and what they do. They just like, you know what? I don't feel like saving folks today. I'm gonna go, to the Waffle House or something. So yeah, the boys. I love the spin. Of like, hey, we hate you, but we'll save you sometimes.
Yeah,
Sometimes.
variety is good. Yeah, variety is good. It's good to see both of those
Spice
takes
life.
on that. Yeah, spice of life exactly. All right. Gen V is taken from an arc in the boys comics. This is a group of people, the boys. They're a group of people with the mission to keep Supes in check. They're going to infiltrate the Godalkin Institute, the school that is almost a mirror copy of X-Men from Marvel Comics, except the leader uses his power and influence to groom and molest the kids in his care. Yeah, like I said before, Ennis hates comics. Luckily, in the Amazon show, the school has been aged up to college, and the Godolkin character is never seen. The school still has his name, but he's such a horrible individual, it would be hard to realistically put him in the story and not expect the show to immediately get canceled. That was a good call. So, the story. Godolkin University is a school that is used to prepare young people with powers to move into society and use said powers for the greater good of Vought. If you thought I was going to say the good of humanity, that's not your fault. You're still thinking in terms of traditional superheroic affair. Vought, the company that mass produces humans with meta abilities, is not altruistic by any stretch of the imagination. Sometimes suits are used in the realm of superheroic, saving people or stopping world ending threats, but they primarily feed into other industries that are more lucrative. Movies, merchandise, advertisement. Vault primarily uses suits to generate revenue for their company. Maria Monroe is a freshman that has a power most suited for a supervillain. She is able to manipulate blood. Her tragic childhood mixed with her rare power set. I was asking my wife every episode, how does she believe she will be a hero? But that shows that just because we believe something to be a person's aptitude doesn't mean they have to stick to that path. They didn't go the My Hero Academia route and have the kids' powers define their personality, which is a very cool way to relate powers to the essence of a character, but they do something probably equally creative. I'll talk about it in the next section. As Maria begins her ascension to try to become a member of the Seven, which is the boys' universal equivalent of the Justice League, her and her compatriots uncover a sinister plot. The university may not be exactly what it appears to be on the outside. Can they band together and stop the villain's plan, or will infighting tear the group apart before it is even formed? I want to kick it over to young Sam. Doesn't this character's backstory and ability lead more to a cold ass villain origin?
Uh, I can see that, but then, well, now that I think about it, y- in a sense, yeah, because that, but the character already exists, and
Mm-hmm.
that's my thing. The character already exists, and that character is already a villain. Well,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
and we
yeah,
can do full spoilers because we're gonna talk about her too.
okay. So I mean, yeah, like her powers mimic the big reveal of last season. So it's like I don't know how you think you're gonna use your powers for good.
Right, exactly. But I also guess the majority of the characters of the show they are villainous. J. Kim, do
Mhm.
you think this gives a more realistic portrayal of how our society would respond to developing super abilities? Would it be primarily monetized?
Mm. Before I answer that, let me just tap just a little bit of what you asked Sam real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I believe parents hold kids back, right? And I think, I'm just going off of Homelander just for a second, right? Once he, really realized his potential, he became a beast. He's a monster that can't be stopped. Okay. And when they show, and I'm the spoiler king, but
Mm-hmm.
when they show Marie killing her parents, even though it was an accident, she unlocks and starts to understand exactly who she really is. Now for monetize, as far as like, Vault and everything what they do, oh yeah. They could, really potentially set this, yeah, for gain because it's like, I mean, the whole thing I think with Vault is like, yeah, we'll do certain things for you, but it's at a cost.
Mm-hmm.
We're a company at the end of the day. What's our bottom line? It's like, okay, we got these superheroes and y'all got these, issues, and if you want us to take care of them, you gotta
Spend
come
that
up
money.
with the
Mm-hmm.
cash. Gotta come
Spend
up with
that
the
money.
cash. So yeah, I mean, most definitely.
All right, cool. Yeah. Good answers, my boys. So they want to drive by right now. All right. What they do with the central characters in the story, they use real world problems that college kids experience to prop up the superhero action. That was an intelligent move. There are some topics that could be seen as triggering to some viewers. We will be discussing them a bit here, but it won't be anything severe enough to cause anybody to wig out, so you should be okay. Matter of fact, the show even does a fair job when handling most of these issues. Not in the hokey after school special kind of way, but in a real world, these people are dealing with these things kind of way. Eating disorders, cutting or self harm, drug addiction, gender identity, nepotism, mental health disorders, and everyone's favorite intro to sex education are all experienced through the 8 episodes of this first season. Tasteful is not a word I thought I would use when discussing anything related to the boys, but Gen V handles these issues that face our society in a tasteful way, for the most part, like I said. I had some issues with one of the topics, but I'm gonna let that marinate until the next section. Young Sam, did you appreciate the way these sensitive subjects were integrated into the characters realistically?
Uh, yeah. When you're just watching, and then when everything first starts happening, you're like, oh, that's very uh like personal. And then as it develops, you see that the characters also develop with it, and it's like, huh, that's actually a good way to handle what just happened. Like the whole she got blasted for her eating disorder, which turned out not to be really been an eating disorder, um but yeah, I think they handled everything well. Um so it was a good take on mental health and self-harm and all these issues rather than just throwing the pills away
Right,
and
like
saying don't fall asleep.
FNAF. That's a callback. Anyway, J. Kimbo, same situation. Do you think some of the issues, especially the school shooting scenario, will cause some viewers to have to turn off that episode at least?
No, because this stuff is happening. Like man, I just actually just watched a video where man, this kid came in fully ready to take out everybody in the classroom, and I think I come from the generation, and maybe you guys might too, but our parents used to sugarcoat, right? But this show is putting it right in your face, and it's like, hey, we see exactly what's going on, in today's society, and we're going to show you exactly, what you should do, or we're also going to applaud you on what you guys have done because, man, this tragedy. I tell you, all of these tragedies happen, and these kids, the way they are just, being able to, overcome these situations and go through them, man, I applaud them. So I mean, like this show for the writers and executives who really put the stuff in there, man, like helping these kids, deal with all these issues, man, ooh, they are doing a great job. I mean, I'm just gonna go just a real small section when it comes to man, the super that she's got the parents and she's she can switch, like she can switch on between
Oh,
male and
Jordan,
female.
Jordan Lee.
Jordan.
Jordan, I love it because at something like like they had like Parents Day, right? And like the dad had an issue, and he was just like, "Look, you was my first son, and then you switched to being a daughter, and I got a problem with dealing with that." And it's like, that's your issue, but like, I can do both, but you got to be able to accept both, and that is so hard, not only like for parents
Right, right.
that need to accept kids that they don't want to be a male. They want to be female. A la, Dwayne Wade's son slash daughter. Well, daughter, that'd be wrong for me to say son. But I mean, man, it's
You ain't
putting this
wrong.
stuff out there for everybody to deal with. I know for myself, I don't got no kids, but boy, whew, it's a tough job. And these writers,
Mm-hmm.
executives, man, they is trying to help these parents out, and these kids, and they are doing an excellent job. So
Yeah,
most definitely.
yeah. Parenting is the most underappreciated job in the world.
Whew,
Yeah, because how can you repay the person that created you, right? So,
mm, like killing
so
them.
exactly. That's what they do. That is what they do.
That's what they do.
I've been seeing this more in recent years, and I don't like the direction it's heading. And this is me talking about the issues they don't handle well. Sex scenes used to be cool. They used to be a treat, especially to a little Seneca, the movie professor, sitting in the theater with his pops. We would watch the action films of the 90s, Demolition Man, Total Recall, any John Claude Van Damme joint, and I knew at some point I was going to get to see some boobs. These days, all the boobs disappeared and have been replaced by dicks. This is not cool, and I don't fucking want it. I understand there should be a fair representation across the board. So I say we institute a rule that for every dick that is shown, there should also be a nice set of tits to accompany it. Damn, is that too much to ask? Apparently it is. And I can imagine 70% of the blame goes to the producer of the series, just as he was the producer on The Boys. That guy's name is Seth Rogen. He is so fucking childish. Dude, stop popping up random penises. We good. It's almost like he didn't get the memo. Bitches don't even like seeing unsolicited dicks. So, who is this for? This industry has overcorrected and needs to dial it back. I'd rather see no nudity if every time we get to it, we're left looking with loose dicks just running around. These scenes don't add enough to the story to warrant the whole project coming to a halt for this. If they find any more way to make dicks explode, I'm going to lose my fucking mind. Even watching things like the Game of Thrones spinoff about the dragons, they have a constant focus on man genitals. Stop. Just fucking stop. Sam, tell these motherfuckers we don't want to keep seeing this all homo bullshit.
No more dicks on my TV screen.
Thank you. Jay Kimster, we had a conversation about a particular scene that was just gratuitous in its execution. You want to elaborate on why you paused the show when one character had shrunk down to minuscule size to perform a full body hand job on a dick?
Yo, so listen, I'm I'm with you,
Answer the
you and
question.
Sam. I'm with you and Sam, and I'm done with seeing it on TV. But you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. The two times that they show, you know, penises on this show, I thought they did a good job. All right, I'm a feminist. All right, let me just
Oh
put
yeah,
it
they
this real
did.
quick for a
Yeah,
second.
they
Let me
did.
just give it to you for a second, okay?
Give it to
All
them.
right, I'm gonna leave the first one for the second part. Listen, here we go. Okay, so I have a lot of women friends, and they are tired of men. Or matter of fact, man, if you really got a chance to watch Russell Simmons' show on HBO about him exposing himself to women and running after them, and raping them,
He's a creep.
women are tired of this, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the way Marie Moreau handled that thing, and I will say the way she handled that thing, was genius. It was genius. I'm gonna be honest with you. Keep your dick in your pants, and unless the chick tell you to, hey, bring it on out. All right. Second, even though this is the first one, yo, I'm gonna be honest with you. It was hilarious. It was funny. It was comical. The way my girl, aka Little Cricket, slid down Buddy's, small penis. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say small, okay? Because that's
Because you was
exactly
looking
what it
at it too
was.
closely. Yep.
Hey, I wasn't looking at it too closely, but it was on the screen. But anyway, the way Little Cricket did that, even and what's crazy is she didn't want to do it, but she obliged, and that's another thing too. I love Little Cricket is because there's a lot of stuff she don't like to do, but she
She a
does it.
people
She cares about
pleaser.
folk.
Mm-hmm.
She's a people
Mm-hmm.
pleaser, and when she did it, I was laughing. But at the end of the day, I'm with y'all. Yo, Seth Rogen, get it together, brother. All right, don't nobody want to see your dick, and we sure don't want to see no random, kids that go on screen. All right, these is kids at the end of the day. But the
Mm-hmm.
way you did it, you did a good job this time.
I disagree, but I do get what you're saying. I don't think he did a good job. Don't give him any credit because
Are you
he'll keep doing
serious?
it. Because he'll
Come
keep
on,
doing
man.
it.
The way
We
he
can't let him.
exploded that dude's penis.
No,
I
that
know
yeah,
you
that was
laughed. I
no,
know
it
you
no,
laughed.
that was an interesting use of the powers, and
Uh-huh.
that made me put some stuff together, even though it
Hmm.
wasn't exactly like I wanted it to be.
Right.
Because after seeing her explode the dick, I also thought she was the cause of one of the other characters that had been exploded earlier in the
Right.
season, and I was like, oh man, that's coming together, but it didn't. It didn't come together like I wanted it to.
Nah.
That would have been dope, but
Yeah, it would have, but I think she's really, to be honest with you, she's just coming into her powers, and she don't know exactly what she can do. And I don't think she can explode a full human. I don't think she knew, even if she knew she could do it, even though we do see somebody else can do it. So,
yeah,
yeah.
for sure. All right. Ensemble casts can sometimes cause characters to be lost in the shuffle. Just look at the X-Men movies. A lot of those team members that are important in the comics are relegated to glorified cameos most of the time. This show flirts with that same issue. Thankfully, the writing is better, so when Time is devoted to each individual lead. The material is good enough to carry the plot and allow the audience to invest enough to care what happens to them. It doesn't hurt that the cast is freaking beautiful. They found some models that could act. The core group is comprised of Marie, the blood powered freshman, Andre, the legacy underachiever, Kate, the mind manipulation master, Emma, Little Cricket, the underrated heart of the group, Sam, the overpowered basket case, and Jordan, the gender bending, ambiguously powered hater. If you can't guess, I didn't like one of those people.
Hmm.
That character's arc was all over the place. I'm talking about Jordan. She, because two people play this character as they can switch between genders at will, starts off antagonistic to Marie, trying to keep her out of the superhero program, just straight up gatekeeping. Then, as the show sees they need to build sympathy for them, they attempt to endear them to the audience by putting them in a romantic relationship with the motherfucker they just tried to ruin the career of. No, fuck that. I don't accept it. And she shouldn't either. The other reason they put them together is because they wanted more stories to intersect, I guess. But there were ways to do this without pushing this bullshit. Jordan is condescending and snarky. If if that character had shown another side, maybe it would have garnered more sympathy. With what I saw, I just wanted the motherfucker to die a gruesome death. The relationship I did really like was Andre and Kate. They were super cute together. Starting off as two-thirds of a friendship trio, Kate is with one guy, but after he explodes himself, the show deals lightly with suicide. They develop a romance, or was it developed before? I'm not gonna play around. They were fucking before he died. It's college. That's to be expected. That's where the sex ed comes in. All these characters are fucking around. No parents. They are technically adults and they sexy. Yeah. We lucky that that one setting isn't all we see them do. Young Sam, we had a discussion about a pairing. You want to take a moment to get that anger out of your system for how quickly that relationship blossomed?
Yeah, that was my issue with this show was the relationships. Everything was rushed. Like we had the Cricket and Sam, and
Mhm.
she was like, "But I've been here for you like the whole time." And it was like, "I don't even know you. Like I met you yesterday. So how are you gonna be there for me the whole time through this?" Like, and Sam was like, "But you're a puppet. Like I can kill you and not feel anything." It's
Hmm.
just every relationship was just rushed and it did not that was the only part that didn't feel like normal. It's like, up we're a relationship, we're sex, up, now we break up. It's only been 3 hours. Like, come on.
Yeah, that's a roller coaster.
Yeah, it was that was my gripe with the show is the relationship building was just way too quick.
J. Kim, I feel like we are on different sides of the Jordan argument, but I want you to tell me which character you like seeing the most, and which one of these characters did you hate?
Hmm, that's interesting. And they're in a relationship. So I really like seeing Little Cricket. I like exactly what she says, but I hate Sam. Sam kind of gets on my nerves. Like Sam, he's that aqua kid that doesn't belong, right? But I guess you need that because that's exactly what happens in society. And you know, it just seems like they are hiding his true power. Like he can do some stuff, but it's like show us everything. I mean, I think we've been getting like a real good sample size of everybody else's power. Maybe Jordan. I think we're not getting everything there, but
We don't even know what the
yeah,
fuck
that.
Jordan does.
We don't know what
See, there you
the
go.
fuck
See,
he does.
but you know what? Also, I'm gonna go back. Let me just get back to you, Sam, real quick, okay? And your answer with that. Think about this for a second, Sam. These kids are young, right? And emotions are all over the place. Man, relationships just be going all over the place. Like, yeah, I love you, man. I got a nephew, man. He's in a relationship, out of relationship, in a relationship, out of relationship, and that's just how it is. Because at this time, I would be telling these young kids, I'm like, yo, I don't know why y'all trying to date. Y'all over here in
Yep.
these streets right now, and that's
Their
just how it's
brain
gonna
isn't
be.
developed enough to even think about
Yeah,
dating right now.
Yeah, I mean, these kids just developing, trying to. I mean, what I love how they introduced, Little Cricket and Sam, with them, their sex, situation, because Sam really never had sex, this and she was, well, I guess, yeah, she was very experienced, with everything that she
She
had in
was
her
loose.
drawers,
She's getting
very
down.
loose. She was getting down, and she was bringing that man out of his shyness and bringing him into the sex, like I like to say. Oh, this is the sex right here. And I mean, I thought, that was like so cool, for them to do that. But I mean, then again,
I
he's
mean,
like,
that's
man, they're
cool and
young.
all. That's
Uh huh.
cool and all, but you don't have to sit there and when something just goes wrong, when they were arguing
Yeah.
and he was having his mental breakdown or whatever, and she was like, "Oh, I've been here for you since everything. Like you
Uh
just
huh.
broke me out yesterday. Like
But see,
you don't know me."
that's how women be though, too. They feel like, man,
This is J
you
Kim's
know,
opinion. If women, if
I'm
you
a,
listen, that's J Kim's
this is
opinion.
this is my opinion. A lot of women, when they feel like they done a few things for you, I've been there, I've done that, I've been, helping you forever. We just got together a second ago. What are you talking about? And they be
Yeah.
like, oh, oh, you don't appreciate me. I'm telling you, this is, that's how the situation be. And I think both of you can attest to that. When they feel slighted, when they put themselves out there, it's like, you don't appreciate it, trouble. So, yeah, I mean, but I'm glad the way Sam handled it though, because he sure did get back in the sack, if you get what I mean. Because he almost ruined his situation.
He almost fucked it up.
Yeah,
Pulled his
you
penny
know.
come up mighty quick.
Yeah. Like, you almost lost a freak, brother. We don't
Yeah.
always get them, That was my first Asian. No. But
Wow.
it's like, it's
We
like,
gonna
bro,
move on.
don't screw
Yeah,
it
yeah,
up.
Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah. Let's
Thank you, Jay.
next question.
Thank you, Jay Kim. Watching this show at times felt like we were following a thread. Then that thread was cut, and the person that cut it handed us another thread to follow, and then kept doing that repeatedly. There were plot points all over the place. So many, I'm honestly surprised it tied up semi neatly at the conclusion. I say semi because while the main storyline of the story did complete, it was resolved so quickly, it left me feeling like this can't be the end. But it was. Matter of fact, J. Kim thought they had one more episode in them. No, they only got eight. The last episode was so abrupt in its resolution, it felt like the penultimate episode rather than a season finale. The season long antagonist, Dean of the University, Indira Shetty, had an interesting agenda. She was not much different from our favorite character, Billy Butcher, the leader of the boys. She experienced a severe tragedy at the hand of a soup and has now dedicated her life to destroying these niggas. The students learned of what happened to her in the past, and not long after, they get her ass up off the show. All of the episodes she's in show her as the calculating mastermind that is working to undermine Vault and superheroes in general. Then she's just kind of dead. With her gone, the team then has to find someone else to have a confrontation with, so they divide and have the obligatory Xavier versus Magneto code of ethics argument that leads to the final battle. We are better than humans, so we should protect them. No, we should rule them. That argument. It's super rushed and it comes out of thin air. I would have preferred to see that simmer a bit. Sow the seeds of dissent within the group, then split it. It would have seemed more natural if we got this in season two. What we got looked to me like, oh shit, we only got one episode left. Hurry up and write something. Let's get a big fight between these guys. Sam, did you see that ending as too much too soon?
Yeah, yeah. And it was I think it's like the shortest episode of the season too. And I was just like, this is a lot going on, but eh, okay, I guess I'll deal with it. And I just I didn't really like it. I mean, I like the ending. I like all the powers being shown. Um, but that episode was just kind of like, I could have done a little bit better.
It was
Style,
weak for an ending.
like you said, it was rushed. It was very rushed.
Mm-hmm. J. Kim, do you speculate that the reason they pitted the team against each other in this way is they weren't sure if they were going to be able to get more seasons out of Gen V?
No, you know what? To be honest with you, I think the reason why they did what they did is so they could bring in the boys' characters and all that vault bullshit. That I think it's kind of like, here we go, little brother. He ain't about to do nothing. Uh-oh, he doing something? He bigger than the big brother. Oh, let me get in on that. Yeah, let me get in on that. Y'all show popping, and people ain't seen us for a little bit. Because I mean, I'm just thinking about it. They just kept bringing in the boys' characters, not only the superheroes, but it's like, remember us? We know we got this great show, Gen V. Remember us? We got to get in there somehow. I was like, I bet you they went to the writers like, hey, please let us into this show, because people just starting to like that show and forgetting about us. So I you know
Not that so much.
I just I don't know. I question all of that. It's just like, hey, let Gen V have its own lane,
Hmm.
and we don't really need to see y'all. We're gonna see y'all probably in a month or two. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Y'all not going
let them
nowhere.
have their own little show. But hey, and the thing is too, it seems like a lot of shows do that, seeing thinking that a show can't carry, but Gen V carries not only their show but their narrative, and then they get their own fan base. So it's like, leave them alone, But once again, executive producers and writers, they screw up. So,
Yeah. And I'm gonna go into detail about that in just a moment
hmm
because I got something for they punk ass. Anyway, I know a bait and switch when I see one, and they hit us with a bait and switch villain. Shady got played to get Head Popper back in. Now we all love Head Popper. She's dope as hell. But to sideline and unceremoniously kill off the person that has been the antagonist the whole show felt weird and rushed. Rushed is the only way that I can describe it. We didn't get a proper resolution to that character story. I'm all for shocking the audience with out of nowhere deaths. Game of Thrones can contribute all of their popularity to just this one gimmick. Victoria Newman is a politician in the world of the boys that hides a deadly secret. I was intrigued by her entry into the series as we learn more about her power. I thought her power was just the ability to explode people's heads with the gaze of her eyes. Turns out, this bitch powers are related to Marie's. That was a good turn that I didn't even think about. The problem is they bring her in by killing off the person that we have been following the whole time. Her inclusion could have been done in conjunction with Shetty. How dope would it have been for Newman to attempt to lure Marie to the dark side while Shetty was still pretending to lure her to the light side? That was it. It it felt like they just put all the cards on the table. They were also gimmicky with the inclusion of the cameos that J. Kim was talking about from their parent series. People show up for quick gags or in order to move the story forward, but it doesn't feel organic. The scenes are so quick, and while some of them are funny, some of them are just gratuitous fan service. We know this is in the same universe as the other series. Let it stand on its own. Don't keep hitting us in the head with it. And that's the problem with connected universes. I've never been on the side of the people that think Superman should just be everywhere whenever something is threatening the world. Tell your story. If you have something cool to do with the characters, cool. Use them. Don't just put them in there because people say, oh, such and such would have stopped it. Bitch, you don't know Superman's life. That nigga could have been in space some damn where when shit was heating up. Sam, did you even imagine Newman and Marie's powers could be so closely connected? Also, do you think they could have done more with that situation?
Uh, I didn't think about it. When that reveal happened, I was like, oh yeah, they do have the same powers. I was like, that's actually kind of cool and interesting because you can do so much with it. And I thought that when they were having the conversation, that Newman was kind of gonna bring on Marie as like a protege or like something to where she can kind of teach her how to use her powers. Um, but yeah, didn't get that. I'm not gonna get that. I'm not gonna get that. Um, so I wish that they would have kind of went that route, but eh, it's what I got.
Yeah, yeah. J. Kim, we already talked a little bit about the cameos, but do you think they're going to combine these series? Are we going to see GMV characters pop up in the boys?
Have to probably. It's gonna spill over.
Mm-hmm.
They've already done it now. I mean, gone backwards, and so it's easy to go forward because it's like um, they're pushing Marie so much to a point where they're moving her ahead of class, and then I mean we already got some vacancies already in the seven, and you could just see it. Same thing they did with ooh, was her name Starlight? Is
Yep.
that her name?
Starlight.
They
Mm-hmm.
pushed her so hard, and it's just like it was just because she has a likable face and her rating was good.
And
Didn't mean
the
that she
story
was
hurt
really.
on her
Didn't mean like
superhero
she was ready or anything. Same thing like with Marie. I mean, like, Marie is not ready. Like Marie, she like. And here's the thing, and I always attribute this back to home training. She doesn't have any home training. She doesn't have any parents. They didn't really raise her right, so give her any kind of like guidance and this and that. And she's being so shaped and groomed by some of the meanest antagonists in this show, and she don't even know it. I mean, man, she's being fooled by like almost half of the show. I mean, you go back to what was it, episode one, or maybe it was two, when she's going into the club and she's never done drugs before.
it
First,
was
what's
first
the first thing
episode.
you do? She's doing drugs. It's just like, girl, you know, she's like,
Hold on
cause
now. Yeah.
it's like, man, she's just being shaped and she being moved. And I mean, I love the whole, I guess if you want to call it mentor mentee situation with her and Newman, because Newman is just like she's just like pushing her to be more than what she can be, and she's making her aware of it. She ain't really even told Marie like, yeah, I got the same power as you, but she's showing her she's like, you can do better, But so it's like she ain't got no identity almost to a point. So to get back to the main question, yeah, I can see a lot of them really spilling over into the show because um the way Gen V is popping, you want to throw that into, a show, and especially if they got like a down episode or so or ratings is low, and then to see something from Gen V, like, oh, that's from the other show. Yeah. Put them in there real quick. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I see that. All right, we're gonna wrap it up. We're going to final verdict. Despite my gripes about pacing, this show is great. I enjoyed every moment. Not not everybody knows, but I love puppets. It stems from my childhood of watching Muppet Show. So when I see the scenes of mentally ill soups viewing their targets as puppets, my heart does a flip. I wish somebody on the staff would go a little further with that though. Write better. This is the second character we have seen with this affliction. There is space to explore if this is something that happens when your powers reach a certain level, or does this occur because the compound V they use increases mental instability? Seth, I know I said some crazy stuff about your childishness, but if you need a consultant for your writing staff, holla at your mans. This is a watch that shit. I'm glad they are getting a second season, and this is a good placeholder until the main story returns. No, it's not as good as The Boys, but then again, most television series never even get as close to how good that show is. Sam, go ahead and give your take.
Yeah, yeah, definitely watch this shit. You'll be entertained. You only see two dicks,
That's two
and
too many.
you'll laugh.
J. Kim,
Almost definitely watch the shit. I love shows episode gets you. And what's interesting is I have text message evidence from Sin saying he didn't like the show, right? And it took him a little bit to get it, and then he was like, you know what, I kind of
wow.
like the show, and so that's fine.
I never said I didn't
But
like it.
I
I'm
have
still
text
lying
message
on my
evidence. Anybody that really wants it,
cut his
hit
feed,
me up.
Sam.
J
Cut his
Kimbo,
feed.
the greatest,
Go ahead,
or
please. He is
you can hit me up
on some
anywhere.
shit.
I'm available. I ain't that hard to find. But anyway, watch this shit. Oh yes, watch it because I said so. The whole podcast has too as well. But
Dun,
It's a
dun, dun,
good show.
dun, 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 dun.
Yeah,
Dun, 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 dun. Oh,
that
I thought.
motherfucking outro.
It's hilarious. Still, yes, watch this because you know what? It's got layers, and the storytelling is amazing. They do a great job of how they're able to just, and it don't drag it out really. To be honest with you, like they put it
You
in there
dragging
and they
out this damn
just
segment?
Negro. I didn't, get it, just because you want to say 4 words and that's it and step off, then that's
Well,
fine.
damn,
But I
JP,
have
we're already 45 minutes in.
we've done 40. Okay, we giving the people what they want. You got to give them, more than just a little bit. But
You
yeah, watch
typically
this
only give
show.
them a little bit though.
Hey, I give them what they need or what they can handle. To be honest with you, you know. But yes, watch this show. Not only too because I ain't a lot out to watch anyway.
You
So
sure
but
ain't.
yeah, watch this.
Holla.
And here's the thing too. I'm gonna give you this is the last piece. Watch this because you will see that this boy Sin hates on a lot of shows, and for him to hate on this show as much, and for him to say he still says to watch this, watch it.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Watch This Shit. You coming for the realest take on new movies. So make sure to follow us so you're not left in the dark on whether you should check out new movies. Stop talking. If you haven't watched this shit yet, what the fuck are you waiting for? We told you what to do. Check us out next time when we review The Holdovers. And good day to you.